Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
arrived. To demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. It is Friday. We've made it to the end of the weekend. Guess what? We've made it to the end of the month, but you know that already. I'm not telling you anything you already don't know. Here we have today, the 31st. So we're going to be transitioning between two moon signs. Current moon sign is Aquarius. We're going to be moving from Aquarius, which is an air sign, to Pisces, which is a water sign. But that transition doesn't take place till this evening. So we are in the middle of this change. So just think about air, which is words and actions, and emotions. And that's what we're going from the words and the actions into the emotions, from the air into the water. Okay, that's unconsciously. The conscious mind is still the same Aquarius, so we're dealing with the same ideas of air, looking towards the futuristic things, endeavors we want to do, ingenuity, these kind of things. All right, so our conscious mind is thinking of air, our unconscious mind is going from air to water. At 9:56 a.m. there's an aspect between the moon, Aquarius, and Saturn, which is a planet that deals with the ideas of discipline. So we have a square coming up there, some sort of lesson we need to learn there. And then a little bit later at 10:45 we have a triangle between the Aquarius and between Mars. Okay, so that's how we use our energy, and actually that is coming up during the time when we are in between these transitions of the moon. So this is a way in which we use our energy. There should be some nice harmonious vibes going on within the next couple hours. Alright, as that aspect takes place. On looking at the sky for the week here. Today the moon is back in the evening sky as the thin waxing crescent to the lower right of Mercury. Look very low above the southwest horizon and twilight as shown here. And this is what we're looking at. Okay, that's how we're going to see this moon tonight. Mayan Oracle shows us that we're only one sliver past new moon, so 1% full. The Mayan Oracle, we're at a red tone, red Skywalker. Second tone, which is the lunar tone of challenge. We're on the wave spell of the human, which is free will. And the symbol for today is the Skywalker, which is all about exploration. So we have the lunar Skywalker guided by the serpent. Lunar Skywalker guided by the serpent. And the supporting cast members of the World Bridger is the like-minded energy. The night is the challenge. And our hidden power is the star. The phrase for today is I polarize in order to explore, stabilizing wakefulness. I seal the output of space with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of life force. And today is a galactic activation portal day. And you can see right here, it's a reflection of the energies over here, which is why it's a portal day. On the long count calendar, today would be a 7 Kimi and a 4 Pax if you're following the Hab. Space weather, solar wind 337.5 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is in the 1, quiet range. We don't see any coronal holes there at the moment. M-class flare possibility like yesterday still at 60%, and X-class the same at 10. Geomagnetic storm activity though looks like it has dropped down. It was in the 40s, and now we're back down to under 20. And then we have notice here of a M-class flare to hit yesterday. Yesterday, this 30th big sunspot AR 1967 unleashed a strong M6 class solar flare. The explosion sent a CME racing away from the blast site faster than 1,400 kilometers per second. That's 3 million miles per hour. Cloud appears to have Earth-directed component and could deliver a glancing blow to our planet's magnetic field on the 1st, which is tomorrow. All right. So let's go take a look at our numerology for today. Okay, today we're at the 31st. So what we're going to do is we're going to add together the 1 for January, 3 and the 1 for the day. So that's 1, 3, 1, and then 2, 0, 1, 4. And we add them all up together. We've got 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then we know that the 2014 equals 7. So we add the 5 and the 7, that's a 12. 12, and then we reduce the 12, the 1 and the 2, through theosophic subtraction to one number. So 2 and 1 is 3. So 3 is what our number is for today. Okay, so our numerology for today is a 3. And 3, these are the characteristics of 3. There's positive and negative characteristics assigned to it. 3s are imaginative, expressive, communicators and artists, tolerant, joyful, optimistic, inspiring, talented, jovial, youthful, dynamic. The list goes on and on and on. From the negative standpoint, for as inspirational as 3s are, there is a price. They are often vain, extravagant, and prone to complaining. Intolerance, hypocrisy, impatience, and superficiality are par for the course when it comes to 3s. And the number 3 is associated with Venus. The tarot card would be the card of the Empress. 3s are all about using our imagination and our creativity. We don't want it to get stifled. We don't want to get so caught up in the ego of what it is we're creating. We simply want to allow the creation to go through and just allow it to be a natural process that we do all the time. Now today, Happy New Year is Chinese New Year. Today is Chinese New Year. So, let me read, got a couple of pieces for you in this regard. Let's look at this one here. First one. It says Chinese New Year 2014. Here's a page that has all kind of inspirational quotes you might use today. It says, Gung Hai Fat Choi. That's the greeting many will say on January 31st to mark the beginning of Chinese New Year. The important Chinese festival, also known as Spring Festival, marks the start of new life and the season of plowing and sowing. Okay. The season of plowing and sowing. The holiday is traditionally linked to honoring the household, heavenly gods, and ancestors. Today, China celebrates the New Year's Day on January 1st, but it marks the Chinese New Year as a time to spend with family and relax from work. The 2-week holiday is divided. Page is going all crazy here. The 2-week holiday is divided into 2 parts. The first week is designed to spend time with the family and friends. The second week is involved traditions designed to bring good luck. The festivities end with a lantern festival. Before the holiday begins, families tend to clean their homes, but throughout the holiday, dust brushes and brooms are hidden so good luck cannot be swept away. Typically, the holiday begins on New Year's Eve when the families gather for a large traditional meal in which regional foods are served. At midnight, fireworks are set off to frighten evil spirits. Red is a common color for the holiday because it symbolizes fire, which wards off evil. The holiday itself is usually spent with relatives, shopping, watching fireworks, and in some cases a religious ceremony honoring heaven, earth, and other deities. Other traditions include stuffing red envelopes with money and candy and placing them under children's pillows to open on New Year's Day. Each year corresponds with one of the 12 zodiac signs and animals. Each sign is believed to influence the personalities of those born in those years. In 2014, it will be the year of the horse. Those born under this sign are believed to possess good communication skills, are cheerful and stubborn. They crave success, tradition says, and they are popular and talented. For those who want to join in the festivities, below are the 25 inspirational sayings, greetings, and proverbs used to usher in. So, I am no expert on the Chinese language, but I'll give a shot at a couple of these sayings. First one is happiness, prosperity, and longevity. Fulo Shou. Wish you luck in the year of the horse. Manyan Dajai. Happy New Year. Gong Hexink. May all your wishes come true. Xing Zhang Xin Cheng. The spirit of the dragon and the horse. Long Ma Jing Shen. Enjoy good health. Shentai Jiankang. A bright and lively spirit. Jingling Hopo. May your health come to fill a hall. Jin Yuma Tang. May you realize your ambitions. Dazhan Hongutu. Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that because, like I said, I'm no expert on that language, but these are a number of great sayings. You can check it out. And here we have some more information on the Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is the longest and most important celebration in the Chinese calendar. The Chinese year 4712 begins on January 31st, 2014. Chinese months are reckoned by the lunar calendar, with each month beginning on the darkest day. New Year festivities traditionally start on the first day of the month and continue until the 15th, when the moon is the brightest. In China, people take weeks of holiday from work to prepare and to celebrate the new year. Legend has it that in ancient times, Buddha asked all the animals to meet him on Chinese New Year. 12 came, and Buddha named a year after each one. He announced that the people born in each animal's year would have some of that animal's personality. Those born in the horse years are cheerful, skillful with money, perceptive, witty, talented, and good with their hands. Rembrandt, Harrison Ford, Aretha Franklin, Chopin, Sandra Day O'Connor, and President Theodore Roosevelt were born in the year of the horse. At Chinese New Year celebrations, people wear red clothes, decorate with poems on red paper, and give children lucky money in red envelopes. Red symbolizes fire, which according to legend can drive away bad luck. The fireworks that shower the festivities are rooted in similar ancient custom. Long ago, people in China lit bamboo stalks, believing that the crackling flames would frighten evil spirits. In China, the New Year is a time of family reunion. Family members gather at each other's homes for visits and shared meals, most significantly a feast on New Year's Eve. In the United States, however, many early Chinese immigrants arrived without their families and found a sense of community through neighborhood associations instead. Today, many Chinese American neighborhood associations host banquets and other New Year events. The Lantern Festival is held on the 15th day of the first lunar month. Some of the lanterns may be works of art, painted with birds, animals, flowers, zodiac signs, and scenes from legend and history. People hang glowing lanterns in temples and carry lanterns to an evening parade under the light of the full moon. In many areas, the highlight of the Lantern Festival is the dragon dance. The dragon, which might stretch 100 feet long, is typically made of silk, paper, and bamboo. Traditionally, the dragon is held aloft by young men who dance as they guide the colorful beast through the streets to the United States, where the New Year is celebrated with a shortened schedule. The dragon dance always takes place on a weekend. In addition, many Chinese American communities have added American parade elements such as marching bands and floats. Alright, so that's a little bit of insight on the Chinese New Year. You can certainly follow the links and read more about them. So happy New Year to you, and let's jump over to our UFO news. It's up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. Let's get over to our stories today. All right, first story here. This comes to us from a volcano in Japan. Yes, you know the volcanoes. This round glowing UFO was caught on live cam recording the Sakurajima volcano in Japan. The glowing orb is massive in scale and may be heading to a secret entrance around the mouth of the volcano. It is a well-known fact. The UFOs are frequently seen coming and going from volcanoes, but 90% of the sightings happen around active volcanoes. The smoke, gases, and activity is used to discourage humans from coming too close. Alright, so you can see the object in question. And again, you know this isn't the first time that we've seen a UFO by a volcano. And you understand the explanation. Now let's take over here. Being that it's already the end of the month, we have a compilation. This is a long compilation, 37 minutes and 44 seconds. There's been a lot of UFO sightings over the course of this month. This comes to you from UFO Planet. Okay, and as you go through here, we have a nice compilations of things we've seen. It says examine the best UFO sightings of January 2014, and they include some from Lima, Peru, Santiago, Chile, Lancaster, UK, Edinburgh, Scotland, including an interview with Milton Finch. Okay, so there's a lot of good stuff here. Alright, so I'm just going to leave the link here so you can check through it, because zipping through it isn't giving it the proper justice that it needs. Alright, now here we have a lawsuit being filed against NASA. You may recall NASA recently announced that a strange rock had somehow appeared in front of its Mars rover. The explanations for this mystery rock were straightforward. Maybe some kind of nearby impact sent a rock toward the rover, or more likely the rover knocked the rock out of the ground and no one noticed it until later. Not so, says the self-described scientist Ron Joseph, an author of trade books on the topics ranging from alien life to the September 11th terror attacks. The rock was a living thing, and he's filed a lawsuit to compel NASA to examine the rock more closely. Joseph is involved with the Journal of Cosmology, online publisher of some very controversial papers. In fact, this isn't the first report of alien life to come out of the journal. For the record, NASA has identified it as a rock, a very special rock with rare properties even, but definitely a rock. Okay, good. But the lawsuit filed yesterday in California court is aimed at NASA and its administrator, Charles Bolden, requesting that the agency perform a public scientific and statutory duty, which is to closely photograph and thoroughly scientifically examine and investigate a punitive biological organism. Joseph is disputing the rock theory since, when examined by petitioner, the same structure in miniature was clearly visible upon magnification and appears to have just germinated from spores. The rock, according to the lawsuit, was there the whole time. It just grew until it became visible. The refusal to take a close look upon the photos from various angles, the refusal to take the microscopic images of the specimen, the refusal to release high-resolution photos is inexplicable, recklessly negligent, and bizarre, according to the suit. Joseph has contacted multiple NASA employees and provided them with said evidence, according to the lawsuit, but they have failed to respond. Outrage. Here are his requests of NASA. The petitioner has specifically requested and has demanded in writing the following from NASA. NASA Chief Administrator Bolden and NASA's rover team, A, take 100 high-resolution close-up, in-focus photos of the specimen identified in Sol 3540 at various angles from all sides and from above down into the bowl of the specimen and under the approximate lighting conditions which minimize glare. B, take a minimum of 24 microscopic in-focus images of the exterior lip, walls, and interior of the specimen under appropriate lighting conditions. C, NASA and the rover team must make public and supply petitioner with all the high-resolution photos and images of that specimen as demanded in A and B. So we'll see how NASA responds to that, but you could see that there are those down here on Earth who aren't buying into all of the NASA lies. UFO, probe, or balloon? That's the question being asked here. I thought I would share pictures of a UFO or balloon. On January 28th, while on a break at work in Scarborough, I was outside checking the skies. I was ready to head back inside. And back inside, being that it was so cold, when I noticed an object appear white and blue and a couple of thousand feet up. Without hesitation, I pulled my camera and took 6 pictures. So there's the pictures right there. Okay, see, it's a pretty good size object. Okay, so the link's available. You can check it out, see what you think. Here we have a humanoid at El Rincon, Viejo, Argentina. Luciano Mazzoni. Around 21:30 on Friday, the 17th of January of this year, 7 people were traveling in a Ford F-100 pickup at the speed of 40 kilometers an hour. Franco and Javier were in the payload of the vehicle with their 2 siblings. Their parents and grandmother were inside the cabin. They were returning from San Eduardo, Santa Fe. In order to reach the field where they lived, it was necessary to traverse the 15-kilometer stretch that separated them from their destination. Amid the soybeans close to the barbed wire fence, about 2 kilometers before reaching their home, Franco, 15, and Javier, 13, noticed an exceedingly tall figure in a crouched position. When the entity noticed it had been spotted by the 2 boys, it took off running in the opposite direction along the edge of the wire fence. The IOVT team headed to the location to speak to the witnesses. We surveyed the sighting area and found no ground marks whatsoever or any other disarray of the natural environment. The witness said that it was very slender with a very large head. Its back was some 20 centimeters wide, and they saw it at a distance of about 15 meters. They were unable to observe any detail. It was a night of full moon, and it was facing them head on. After 12:30 hours on Monday the 20th of the year, Franco, 15, who was also a witness to the first case on Friday, went out to the back of his house to collect some basil leaves for his mother's request. At that moment, he saw a humanoid in the distance of 150 meters walking along the edge of the barbed wire, separating the corn plantation from his backyard. Franco told us that it walked in a hunched manner, and he saw it sideways. At no time did the entity notice him. Franco entered the house, and the entity was not seen again. This is how Franco described the figure to us. Head, large. Skin, pale gray. Eyes, couldn't see. Mouth, couldn't see. Ears, had none. Nose, had none. Build, very slight. Hands, very large. Fingers, he saw 3 with a marble on the tip of each. Hair, none. Clothing, none. The IOVT team visited the site, but no prints were collected due to the irregularity of the terrain and the dry chaff from the previous harvest. It should be noted that the family is very frightened and feel unsafe as the result of these events. All right, and one more story here. Social networking for UFO ET disclosure, from Ed Komarick at UFO Digest. The Orwellian so-called New World Order psychopath's control over humanity is based to a large extent on interlocking financial, political, social, and military networks around the globe. Those of us who desire to raise the consciousness of humanity towards more positive outcomes need to learn to mirror the effort of our adversaries and hold humanity hostage for selfish gain. Social networks like Facebook and Twitter are powerful tools at our disposal if we use to learn them properly and not allow our networks to be trashed by the low credibility communications and informations. Many of us in the UFO ET community realize that control over extraterrestrial contact and cover-ups is just part of the parcel of this large elite control mechanism. Some of us are beginning to realize that we cannot work individually and collectively on the social networks to combat the detrimental effects on humanity by the New World Order gang. What I am personally trying to do on Facebook is to get my now free disclosure book to as many new readers as possible and to promote the extraterrestrial cultural center concept. So here we have some links right here to those. The idea of an extraterrestrial culture center was first proposed to the UFO investigator Wendell Stevens by Human Extraterrestrial. I have taken this idea and developed it in detail on the center's website and am promoting the concept on our center's Facebook pages. Also, about once a month, I have taken on the monotonous duty of spending about 6 hours posting to UFO and New World Order Facebook groups, updating mine and the center's activities. I also try to post Facebook links on some of the more credible groups I post to on a monthly basis, so our center's members can also join these groups and interact and link together. Center home page is right here, so you can click on that There's no way I can personally do much more to communicate through all these groups, but collectively through interlocking groups we can move our agenda for a better humanity forward. This is much the same way our adversaries are working to dominate and control humanity for selfish gains, and instead of evolving humanity, devolving it. I would hope that folks that see this post can do the same and post updates about their group to the center's public Facebook page on a monthly basis. To do any more group promotion would just add to our collective spam problem. I've noticed that during the month's time many new people circulate through groups, and it is imperative that these new people are not put off or discouraged by all the trash circulating through the UFO and NWO groups. I used to try to fight with scammers, hoaxers, and viral marketing operations, but have decided to just settle for trying to get high-quality information to the Facebook groups through the center and on my personal Facebook wall. Unfortunately, I've reached my 5,000 limit, can only put new people as friends as others drop off. People can click on the follower function, however, to receive my UFO and NWO daily news postings. I try to stick with mostly UFO-related posting on the center's public Facebook page. I don't have a problem with folks just adding me to the UFO groups without checking me, because that allows me to reach even more people. I would like to encourage people in other credible groups to post about their groups to the center on a monthly basis, just as I posted here, but not to spam our site with constant promotions either. The center also wants and needs to collaborate with other Facebook and internet groups. We are grateful for the collaboration and help, and are getting from UFO Digest, World UFO Day, and Paranormal World. So check out the links. They're available, firstcontactradio.com. That way you can get more involved and help out with this cause. All right? That is it. That's our UFO news. I'll be back with more. Stay tuned. This is Confirm or Deny.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, shit.
Underground is where they live. In the bases that are secrets live. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lives? Plausible deniability. That's their answer to all we think we see. So pay attention, read between the lines. Changes are happening, revealing lies. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lives? Now, underground is where they live. In the bases that are secretive. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. what's up with their lies. I can neither confirm or deny. They can neither confirm or deny. It's time for them, confirm or deny. No more secret lies. I don't know about you, but I can't stand it anymore. I know what I saw. You know what you saw. Stand up for yourself. Think for yourself. The truth is out there. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies.
All right, no more lies. Confirm or deny. Confirm or deny. Okay. This story continues on with some of the extraterrestrial ideas. It says, what the church isn't telling you about the Nibiru and the Anunnaki. What the church isn't telling you about Nibiru and... Okay. Silently, the Vatican is releasing information about Nibiru entering our solar system and extraterrestrial neighbors who have already met with Vatican officials, but they are not telling you everything. While the mainstream media remains conspicuously silent while they're distracting our attention to idiotic events such as Justin Bieber's DUI, disclosed information has been slowly leaked by the Vatican, indicating the presence of extraterrestrials on and visiting our planet with an incoming anomaly called Planet X or Nibiru. The following testimonies confirm the Vatican's knowledge of extraterrestrials in the Nibiru. Pierre Elena, a French astrophysicist and member of the Pontifical Academy, stated in November 2009 astrobiology conference hosted by the Vatican, astrobiology is a mature science that says very interesting things could change the vision humanity has of itself. The church cannot be indifferent to that. Chris Impe, a university distinguished professor and deputy head of the Department of the University of Arizona and a keynote speaker at the astrobiology conference, added, the first discovery is only a few years away. Guy Consolmagno, leading astronomer for the Vatican, stated, very soon the nations will look to aliens for their salvation. Cosmago believes that humans are not the only intelligent beings created by God and that in the universe, and he added that these non-human life forms are described in the Bible as in the Nephilim. Dr. Christopher Corbellet, Vice Director for the Vatican Observatory Research Group on Mount Graham until 2012, who believes our image of God will have changed if disclosure of alien life is soon revealed by scientists. ETs are already here, says the late Vatican Monsignor Corrado Balducci. Not only believed in the presence of alien intelligences already interacting with our planet, but also believed that the Vatican has been aware of it. Balducci believed the extraterrestrial contact is real and the extraterrestrial visitors are not demonic. They are not due to physiological impairment. They are not a case of entity attachment, but these encounters deserve to be studied carefully. Balducci went on to state, as God's power is limitless, it is not only possible, but it is also likely that inhabited planets exist. I always wish to be the spokesman for these star peoples who are also part of God's glory, and I will continue to bring it to the attentions of the Holy Mother Church. Imagine that, someone from the church who has kept the truth hidden for millennia wanted to represent our planet as a spokesman for our galactic neighbors. That's just a little side note there. All right, and here's an excerpt from the article entitled Exo Vaticana from Thomas Horn. In a paper for the Interdisciplinary Encyclopedia of Religion and Science, Father Giuseppe Tanzellanitti, an Opus Dei theologian of the Pontifical University of the Holy Cross in Rome, explains just how we could actually be evangelized during contact with spiritual aliens. As every believer in God would, he argues, greet an extraterrestrial civilization as an extraordinary experience and would be inclined to respect the alien and to recognize the common origin of our different species as originating from the same creator. According to Giuseppe, this contact by non-terrestrial intelligence would then offer new possibilities of better understanding the relationships between God and the whole of creation. Giuseppe states that this would not immediately oblige the Christian to renounce his own faith in God simply on the basis of reception of a new unexpected information of a religious character from extraterrestrial civilizations, but that such a renunciation could come soon after as the new religious content originating from outside the earth is confirmed as reasonable and credible. Once the trustworthiness of the information has been verified, the believer would have to reconcile new information with the truth that he or she already knows and believes on the basis of the reevaluation of the one and triune God, conducting a rereading of the gospel inclusive of the new data. In a 1997 interview with Art Bell on Coast to Coast Radio, Father Malachi Martin was asked why the Vatican was heavily invested in the study of deep space at the Mount Graham Observatory. Martin replied, because the mentality amongst those who are at the highest levels of the Vatican administration and geopolitics know what's going on in space and what's approaching us could be of great import in the next 5 to 10 years. Reverend Jose Gabriel Funes, an astronomer and director of the Vatican Observatory, stated, just as there is a multitude of creatures on earth, there could be other beings, even intelligent ones created by God. This does not contradict our faith because we simply cannot put limits on God's freedom. Funes added, God has made man in Jesus to save us. God was made man in Jesus to save us in this way. If other intelligent beings existed, it is not said that they would have need of redemption. They would remain in full friendship with their Creator. Vatican insider blows the whistle. In 2005, a high-ranking Jesuit insider released footage of Nibiru, along with documentation from the highest secrecy of the Vatican in a project called Secretum Omega, which was a top-secret venture with NASA, in which a high-powered infrared camera was secretly placed into orbit to monitor the elusive 10th planet. This is what an insider has to say about that. What I can say is that it was built in the 90s with the object of studying all anomalous celestial bodies approaching Earth, similar to what the CIA did with one of its secret eyes, the twin to the Hubble called Skyhole. Moreover, the SIV was informed during the meetings of the aliens with Pope Pius XII of the approach of a celestial body to the solar system which resides on an advanced, very warlike alien race. Very shortly I knew that the material that I should have been receiving in Rome and that analyzing on a computer was very interesting and extremely secretive. It was during the analysis of a certain data and information from the Alaska Radio Telescope that we discovered that one remote deep space probe, part of a deep space exploration program called Celio, which was started in 1990, had taken a photograph of a huge planet getting closer to our solar system. The information was received in Alaska in October 1995, which is when my problem started. I discovered that I was not chosen to decode the particular transformation and a dangerous situation involved. At that time, my contact revealed to me that inside the Vatican there were two factions struggling over possession and control of this information, which was classified and far above top secret. For now, I can just tell you that this probe was created in Area 51 as an electromagnetic impulse motor, and it was put in orbit by the space plane like Aurora. The probe did not have any calculations nor pre-indications of the trajectory or the precise location of Nibiru, because its purpose was to approach that planet, correcting its direction to avoid impact, and to return to the solar system to a position close enough to transmit the data and images to the secret radio telescope located in Alaska. The insider went on to say the human race must surrender completely to the message of salvation and the redemption of Christ, which St. Paul defined as Querigma, a message that John Paul II is trying to spread to all the nations. Don't you think that the Pope knows how close these events are to us? And a bunch of good videos, and here we could see an old article. This goes back to 1984, talking about Nibiru. It says, shrouded from the sun's light, mysteriously tugging at the orbits of Uranus and Neptune is an unseen force that astronomers suspect may be Planet X, a 10th resident in the Earth's celestial neighborhood. Last year, the infrared astronomical satellite circling a polar orbit 560 miles from the Earth detected heat from an object about 50 billion miles away that is now the subject of intense speculation. All I can say is now we don't know what it is yet, says Jerry Neugbauer, director of the Palomar Observatory for California Institute of Technology. Scientists are hopeful that the one-way journeys of the Pioneer 10 and 11 space probes may help to locate the nameless body. Some astronomers say the heat-emitting object is an unseen collapsed star, possibly a brown dwarf, a protostar that never got hot enough to become a star. However, a growing number of astronomers insist that the object is a dark, gaseous mass that is slowly evolving into a planet. For decades, astronomers have noted that the orbits of two huge distant planets, Neptune and Uranus, deviate slightly from what they should be according to the laws of physics. Gravitational pull from planet X would explain that deviation. Moreover, says Neugbauer, we can show that our own solar system is still creating planets. We know that it's happening around other stars too. And we've got a lot more to this article, so please check it out. But something is approaching, they are watching, and we'll keep informed as to what that is. Alright? Alright. So, moving on. So there's been places where there's been lots of snow, right? However, we're having some interesting challenges and interesting discoveries about this snow. For example, people are taking this snow inside their house and they're lighting it on fire or attempting to light it on fire. And watch what's happening here. You don't see the snow melting. And what you're going to see here is it actually is burning. You can see right there. And it shows it. See? So it's pretty weird. But this isn't the first one. Here's another video up here as well. This is also somebody else who is doing the same test here because they're hearing. So let me play this for you here.
It feels like snow. I'm from Chicago. I know what snow is. But we're going to test it. Alright? I made a small little snowball. Okay. Alrighty. Got my handy dandy lighter. I stand over here just in case it drip everywhere. You know, because you know you're melting snow. It's going to melt and drip. So we got a rug right here. Let's get it cracking. Wow. Look at that. It's not dripping.
Snow doesn't act like that.
Whoa, what kind of snow is this? It's not melting, people. Look at this. Where are the drippings?
Okay, so not only is the snow not melting, but it's getting black. And as she's saying now, she's saying there's a smell coming from it. So, very weird, folks, very weird. So, if you're in a part of the country where there is snow, go out and give this a try. Go out and give this a try. Okay? This is what we've got there. So, if you're in an area and it snowed a lot, check it out for yourself. Go collect some of this snow and see if you can get the same results. And then after you do that, if you get a chance, video it, send it in if you happen to do this, and let me know. Because there's a number of folks across the country in a variety of states, Michigan, Georgia, I think I've seen Jersey and other states, where people are checking this out and they're finding out that something is not right. Okay? Alright, so, and then of course the chemtrails that are associated with this. What is causing this? Not sure, but it's very, very bizarre. Very bizarre. So just something to pay attention to, and if it snowed in your area, check it out. See what's going on with the snow in your area, because it's not normal. Alright, here we go. We're going to switch gears over here to Don Juan. Do you know who Don Juan and Carlos Castaneda is? Well, if not, you're about to find out. Very interesting characters here. The sorcerer's description of the world is perceivable, but insistence on holding on to a standard version of reality renders us almost deaf and blind to it. Carlos Castaneda. The basic premise of sorcery for a sorcerer is that the world of everyday life is not real or out there as we believe it. For a sorcerer, reality, or the world we all know, is only a description. For the sake of validating the premise, I will concentrate the best of my efforts into leading you into a genuine conviction that what you hold in your mind as the world at hand is merely a description of that world, a description that has been pounded into you from the moment you were born. Everyone who comes into contact with a child is a teacher who incessantly described the world to him, until the moment when the child is capable of perceiving the world as it is described. We have no memory of that portentous moment, simply because none of us could possibly ever had any point of reference to compare it to anything else. From that moment on, however, the child is a member. He knows the description of the world, and his membership becomes full-fledged, perhaps when he is capable of making all the proper perceptual interpretations which, by conforming to all that description, validate it. The reality of day-to-day life then consists of an endless flow of perceptual interpretations which we, the individuals who share a specific membership, have learned to make in common. The idea that the perceptual interpretations that make up the world have a flow is congruous with the fact that they run uninterruptedly and are rarely, if ever, open to question. In fact, the reality of the world we know is so taken for granted that the basic premise of sorcery, that our reality is merely one of the many descriptions, can hardly be taken as a serious proposition. As a teacher of sorcery, my endeavor is to describe the world for you. Your difficulty in grasping many concepts and methods will stem from the fact that the units of the description are alien and incompatible with those of your own. I am teaching you how to see as opposed to merely looking, and stopping the world is your first step to seeing. This was Don Juan to Carlos Castaneda, and this is from the book Journey to Ixtlan. If you haven't read the book, check it out. Don Juan, a native, and Carlos Castaneda, an author. He met with Don Juan, and he wanted to participate in a number of his shamanistic ceremonies, and he did. And over the course of the time, there's a great amount of learning that takes place as Carlos learns not only about the physical world, but the unseen worlds beyond it. So check out the book. It's really interesting, very fascinating. There's more than one. There's a series of books, and I've read them, really enjoyed them. I think you will too. So check it out. Check it out. Check it out. All right, this brings us over here to a message today. And today's channeled message is from Sirius. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. But these are the jokes, folks. These are the jokes. I know you're laughing out there as we speak. Ha ha ha. All right, here we go. This is it. Serious message to humanity. Check it out.
Serious message to humanity.
January 29th, 2014, by Karen Doonan.
Greetings, beloved ones. We are the beings from the Sirius star system, and we are here with all at this time of vast movement and transformation, both upon and within planet Earth, and also within the human race. For all are one, and all just are. We are here to support all with all, and for all are. We speak to our children who have taken human form upon this planet and who have incarnated into the human race in order to help the human race, for the human race now begin to prepare for the birth of a new reality, a reality born from truth, no longer contained and suppressed by the old 3D Earth paradigms, and we guide for you to let go and be as the energies now begin to shift and to move in preparation for the event. We are here to support all who are in the process of birthing the event through their human vehicles and into the outer waking reality that is human life upon planet Earth. The miracles that sit at the seat of your soul now birth through you, around you, and within you, for you are and all just is. We place the coding of 333 within the heart space, and we place the seal of Solomon above this coding. We place the star tetrahedron around the human vehicle, and we place the seal of Solomon at the soul star and the earth star chakras, and we ask that you breathe and be, for all just is and you are. We place the gift of the golden ank at the brow, and we place the seal of Solomon upon this symbol, and we gift you the creation of the universe of 3 in truth. We place the white dove and the seal of Solomon upon the heart space, and we breathe life into our children in this their human form upon the planet Earth. We open our hearts and allow the full flow of the universal energies to connect all with, through, and around all, for all are one and all are. The heavens will now be birthed upon and within planet Earth in truth, birthed through a race that has been contained and suppressed, and the human vehicles into which many races have incarnated will now begin to expand and grow in truth, for all just is and all are. The miracles will now expand and deepen, for the new Earth is now born upon the planet Earth in the universe of 3 in truth. We send forth the messengers with their messages so that all may now understand that all are one. The new Earth will now seek to anchor within each and every human vehicle that walks upon and within planet Earth. For those who are awakened to the levels that are required by the new Earth, those whose sole mission is to birth the new Earth, we welcome you home in truth, for we will now walk with you in person. For those who have chosen to stay within the karmic cycles of the old 3D Earth, you are asked to have love and compassion for them as they now assist you fully in embracing the new Earth fully, for without them this could not be achieved. Once more we state all are one and all are. The frequencies of Mother Earth will now heighten and expand beyond anything that you have experienced so far upon and within planet Earth, and this makes way for the birthing process in truth. Breathe with your mother as she now delivers you into the freedom that is your birthright in the universe of 3 in truth. We are the beings from Sirius, and we now walk with all, for all are one and all are in truth. Shine brightly, beloved ones, for now the stars will shine brightly alongside you as you walk in human form, and they take their form in truth upon and within the planet Earth in the golden age of humankind in the universe of 3. The levels of frequency that are now available are the highest that can be available as Mother Earth gives birth. As she recovers from the birth, the levels will then increase and expand and keep increasing and expanding, for within the universe of 3 1 + 1 = 3. Expansion is the path that you now walk in truth, for expansion is truth. All are one and all are in truth.
Alright, very nice. All are one, all are in truth. Good message, good message. Alright, today's affirmation is: keep patience when you have nothing, and watch your attitude when you have everything. Keep patience when you have nothing, and watch your attitude when you have everything. Just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. I don't like those ads. Wish they'd stop popping up. Okay. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. Take another deep breath and exhale. And think to yourself the words: keep patience when you have nothing, and watch your attitude when you have everything. Keep patience when you have nothing, and watch your attitude when you have everything. And let's just imagine ourselves walking along a path. And as we walk along the path, we see others walking along. And the path is crowded. And everyone is moving, trying to get somewhere. And as everyone rushes around and keeps bumping into each other, no one is getting anywhere because there is too much chaos. But slowly, people become more patient, one person at a time. And as you become more patient and others become more patient, the process changes. People stop bumping into each other and start moving around and past. And pretty soon, through a process of patience, everything is in order and moving smoothly. And we realize in life that being patient is often the way we need to go. For rushing and pushing don't always get us where we need to go. Simply confuse the process. So as we exercise our patience, we know that we are exercising our opportunity to succeed. We are exercising the gifts that have been given to us on allowing them to unfold. For we realize that with our impatience, we think that the seed plants and instantly becomes the flower, when in reality the process of growth needs to occur, and one needs to be patient to allow the process to change. And as such, we are patient to allow this to change within ourselves. So just imagine patience. And imagine love and the love that moves through life, and how patiently it waits and works its magic. Know that no one is immune from love, and eventually love will find its way to all hearts, all in due time. So let's imagine ourselves going forth this weekend patiently, effectively, and let's just imagine ourselves sending love out into the world as we go this weekend. Just thinking good vibes for all the people around the planet. And as we continue to think good thoughts and good vibes for the people around the planet unconsciously, let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale, and open your eyes. That's it, my friends. Thank you very much. We've made it through a week. We've made it through a month. And we're jamming forward into the rest of this year. Thanks for being here. Have an awesome weekend. I'll be back Monday with more news and information. Till then, be safe, be healthy, be happy. Lots of love and light to each and every one of you. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.